Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I am here to film a video that actually came out in 2020. It's the blush tag, which was created by Michelle Wong, so I will have her channel listed down below. I don't believe I ever got around to filming this tag video, and I just picked up some blushes recently, so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and film it. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup, so if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and start talking about some blushes. Okay, I'm gonna have all of the tag questions down below, but I'm not answering all of them. So you might see some of them blank down below and think Kelly, you didn't even touch on that. I didn't have opinions on some of them. But first up, we have the newest blush to my collection. That's actually the blush that I'm wearing today, and it's this one right here by Laura Mercier. This is in the shade Chai. Now, if you caught my haul video, you know that I did pick up a couple blushes recently. I have one from Sigma, this one here from Sephora. This one is my newest blush. I've heard such good things about the Laura Mercier blushes from Morgan Turner and Charlotte Holdcroft, so I went with Chai. This was my first time wearing it. I feel like it's a nice Kelly shade. It's light and buildable, and yeah, so that's my newest. I don't really have too many thoughts on it yet because it is new, but my newest blush. Then I went with my oldest blushes, and my oldest blush is actually a trio. This was a gift from my best friend Smegs. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush Palette from Hourglass. And I have had this one for a lot of years. I can hear my daughter singing. She's supposed to be napping. I don't know that she's going to take a nap today. She's singing in her room. So if I'm reading this correctly, I believe this one is Mood Exposure, Incandescent Electra, and then this one is Luminous Flush. And I have made the largest dent on this one right here in Mood Exposure. I love these blushes. I feel like I often forget about them just because I'm not reaching for palettes often, but I'm not going to declutter it. I love this blush palette. The most expensive, I think I have this correct. I looked them up and I had a couple blushes that were $39, but my Charlotte Tilbury blushes are $40, so they are technically $1 more expensive. This one right here is the shade Pillow Talk. It's a beautiful mauve-y natural tone. It does give you more of a satin finish. You can see there aren't any specks of glitter, but you can see a sheen with this blush. It's very healthy looking. I also have this one right here, and this one is a matte blush. I will put the name on the screen right here. Nicole Guerrero used to rave about this one. This was the first blush that I got. This one is more matte. Again, it's like a beautiful mauve natural shade. I love my Charlotte Tilbury blushes. I honestly probably don't give them enough love, but I do really, really enjoy the formula. They're just so pricey. Then we have the most affordable blush in my collection, and I actually forgot to look up the price for this one. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so I just looked it up. My most affordable blush is this one right here by Essence. It's $3.99. It's called Essence The Blush, but I have the shade number 10 Befitting. You'll see a pattern here. These are my tones, the more mauve type of tones. I love them. I don't think about this blush often because I do have so many higher end blushes that I love so much, but this is still a great blush and very affordable. I haven't tried too many of the Essence products, but if you are looking for a brand that is more affordable, you can find them at Ulta. Then I have my everyday blushes. Now these two will be repeats for some other categories, but when I'm thinking of an everyday blush, I'm a teacher, so I'm thinking of when I'm going to work and getting ready in the morning and I have to move quickly, what am I grabbing? So the first one is by Buxom. It is this one right here in Seychelles. I love this blush. It looks like it's not going to be pigmented, but it's actually super pigmented, and it gives me a nice sheen without having any chunks of glitter, and it just makes my skin look very healthy. So I really, really love this one. It's a great everyday blush. The other one that I like to wear a lot It is available as a single because you can't get this trio anymore. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun. But the shade that I use most in here is this one right here in Divine Rose. This one, even though it looks deep, it is more of a buildable formula. So you can go in, you can build it up if you want it to be a little bit deeper, or you can have a little bit of a lighter application. But I feel like these two right here just kind of go with every look. They look nice and natural on the face. They give me like a flushed look without looking artificial. So these are definitely my go-to everyday shades. This one, most colorful. I mean, I honestly probably could have skipped this one as well because I don't have any colorful blushes, but you will see a pattern. A lot of my blushes are just more of like a natural shade, like a mauve or a nude. So if I had to go with the most colorful, I chose this one right here, which doesn't even really look that colorful. This is the Makeup Geek Spellbound blush. It's probably just the most pink blush that I have. It's not quite a bubblegum pink, but almost. The majority of my blushes are going to be more of like neutrals and mauves. So this is the only one that really has like a pop of color, but some people might not even consider a pink blush like a pop of color. So this might not be the most exciting category if you're a color lover, but I put this one in that category. Then I have blushes that are worth the hype. So I was trying to think about, in the last year or two, what are some blushes that a lot of YouTube content creators talk about and rave about. And again, I had to circle back to my Pat McGrath blushes. I definitely think these are worth the hype. The first one that I got is this one right here. It's a little bit tricky to open, but this is in the shade Nymphette. It's a beautiful, it looks matte here, but it's a beautiful blush that gives me more of a satin finish. It doesn't give me like full matte, but there are no chunks of glitter. It looks beautiful with a variety of looks. Again, it's that neutral mauve shade. It has a buildable formula, so you can go in with a light hand if you want it to be lighter, but you can build it up more and more. And then of course this trio that I already showed you. The other blush that I didn't talk about in here in the middle is Desert Orchid. This again is very pigmented. It's a beautiful like natural shade. If you're just going for more of like a bronzy look, this is a beautiful blush. But I really like the quality of these. I know people were waiting for Pat McGrath to come out with blushes for so long, and she finally did, and in my opinion, they're worth the hype. So I love them. You can see I've purchased more and I am a fan. Then we have a favorite blush from a favorite brand. And I wanted to think of a blush brand that I hadn't talked about yet. Sorry, I didn't really do my hair today, so let me tuck my crazy baby hairs behind. But a brand that I wear every single day that I feel like I don't necessarily have a ton from, but I wear, MAC. Every single day. I use my MAC Fix Plus. I have MAC lip liners. I have MAC lipsticks that I love. So the blush that I would say is my favorite from MAC is this one right here in the shade Melba. Now this one does have more of like a peachy undertone. I'm not a huge like peach fan, but it gives me more of like a peachy undertone, and I really like this blush. It's another one that goes great with everything. It's not one of my most reached for or most used blushes, but I did repurchase this one after having it in my collection and decluttering it, so that just goes to show you I do enjoy it and I like having it in my collection. If we have to figure out which blush of mine is the most used, that one has to go back to my Buxom blush in Seychelles. Now, I don't have pan in any of my blushes, okay? I feel like that is so hard to do with blushes because you get so much and it's a powder and you really don't have to apply a ton. But this blush right here in Seychelles is one that I often have to tell myself to put down. Like I'll have it out, I'll be using it, I'm putting it on my cheeks, wearing it every single day, and then I'm like, Kelly, you have other blushes. Put this one away. You can use it again later. So if I had to say which one was most used, I definitely believe that it is that one right there. This one I almost skipped as well. It was most disappointing, but you know what? It is disappointing. I don't remember all of the blushes that I have decluttered, but I do know I decluttered this one and I repurchased it, and the repurchase is disappointing. It's the Benefit blush in Dallas. So the old formula, this looks more of like a tan shade, right? The old formula was more of a mauve shade, and I could almost use it as like a bronzer blush hybrid, and I loved it. I really did love the formula. I had it for so long, and that's why I decluttered it, thinking I'll declutter it now and I'll repurchase it later down the road, and then they reformulated it. So I wanted to try it again. I did get this whole, what's this called? Oops, I just lost the brush. The Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. So I did get this whole palette because I wanted to try other things, and I'm glad that I got the whole palette instead of just buying Dallas, because had I just bought Dallas, I think I would have been disappointed and probably decluttered it again, because it's not what it used to be. And then speaking of Benefit, I added my own little category in here, and I have a blush that I regret decluttering. When I got rid of Benefit Dallas, I also got rid of my Benefit Rakuten blush because I had had it for so long, and I regret that. I wish I had Benefit Rakuten. At some point in time, I want to repurchase that one, but I got rid of it at the time because it was a little bit older, and I was just trying to go through my collection. I hadn't been using it a ton, but that was like a beautiful mauve shade that gave me a little bit of a sheen. I wore it all the time. I wore the Rakuten away, and I regret decluttering that one. I wish I still had it in my collection, and I better purchase it soon because I feel like it might disappear. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like it might disappear, and I really want that one back in my collection. But that's going to do it for this video. Quick and easy, the blush tag by Michelle Wong. If you are a content creator and you already filmed this video and you have some updated answers, like, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're not a content creator, I would love to hear some of your answers, some of your favorite blushes, some blushes that I should try out. I do plan on doing some collection videos, but I'm going to film them later in the summer, and they'll go up when I'm having my son in August so that I have some pre-filmed content. But I plan on doing like more collection style videos and showing you all of my blushes and bronzers and eyeshadow palettes and the works. But I thought that this would be a fun way to share some of my collection with you and some of my thoughts. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.